咁或者我都係先問阿 Lego 幾個問題啦，咁然後就大家可以有啲咩嘅感受啊，或者係有啲問題都可以同佢講咁樣。
I will be doing the English translation. So Albert will start with some questions to the director, and then we will see if in the audience you would like to ask some question also. 眼鏡。
咁啊，琴晚如果有嚟到嘅，咁我見琴晚阿 Lego 係問咗一個導演一啲問題，我就諗住用呢個作為我嘅開始咁樣。咁啊，我想問一問阿 Lego， 其實攝影機嚟對你嚟講係咩一回事咧？同埋我轉一轉個問題啦。你覺得即係呢套片同一套片咧，你會唔會覺得你行近咗媽媽多少少，而媽媽又行近咗你多少少咧？
So, if you were here last night during our screening, we know that Lego has already asked some questions to one of the directors of last night's documentary. So Albert will start his questions with the same questions that she asked last night. So the first question will be, what is the camera for you? And the second question would be, during this process, did you feel that your relationship with your mother has been closer, that you have been, that you felt closer to your mother, and that your mother also feel closer to you?
我答第一個問題先啦。咁其實呢一部作品係我第3部作品嚟嘅。咁每一次其實拍紀錄片對我嚟講都唔係拍紀錄片，我可能只係借紀錄片嚟同我嘅屋企人去經歷一啲嘢，即係一個旅程咁樣。而喺日安裏面，攝影機對我嚟講就好似一個對講機咁，即係可能喂，即係開個對講機，喂阿媽 over， 我係你個女啊，然之後阿媽就話喂，我係你阿媽咁樣，即係一個咁嘅關係啦，對我嚟講。
So it's the third time that Lego has made a documentary, and every time she doesn't really treat it as a documentary, more like a kind of, the camera is more like a communication tool with her family members. It's almost like a talkie-walkie that she would call in the camera saying that hello mommy, and then mommy will be saying the same hello daughter, and it's a tool of communication more like.
咁第二個問題，即係我可以分享一下，即係完咗之後，我跟住我媽媽同我爸爸嘅關係啦。咁個轉變係乜嘢啦？咁譬如我講咗我爸爸先啦，即係可能佢從來都未試過係坐定定睇佢身邊咁多年嘅一個女人嘅，即係可能係佢第一次係同我一樣去觀察呢一個女人。咁佢其實係由我畢業製作就開始睇我拍嘅片，但係呢一部係佢唯一會 send 信息同我講話，喂，我睇得明你拍嘅嘢啦咁樣。咁同埋佢哋兩個而家係即係有一種翻去以前拍拖嗰種關係，即係佢哋今個月話即係準備要去旅行啊，即係反而我需要一啲距離咁樣。咁呢個係我爸爸嘅部分。
So she would like to share a little bit the relationship with her father after this process of making the documentary. So at the beginning, her father has been watching her film already several times. It's the third one, and this one is the first time that he was able to sit down and look at the woman with whom he has been living for so many years, and for the first time he's observing all that. And then for the first time also that he sent her a message saying that, you know, I've been watching your film for several times already, and this time I managed to understand. And also the relationship between her parents, somehow after this documentary is like they are kind of going back to the feeling that when they were dating at the early years. Now they are planning to have a travel. So yes.
咁對於我同我媽媽啦，即係因為如果有睇過棉花就知道，其實我同媽媽係好少溝通嘅，基本上係唔講嘢。即係我喺台灣可能4年讀書，我哋都係冇通過電話嘅。咁就係因為呢一次嘅旅程，即係有呢個機會令到我哋攞起嗰個對講機去交談。 咁喺呢一個過程裡面呢，我發現媽媽好似越嚟越意識到佢係一個媽媽，即係佢越嚟越意識到原來佢真係有一個女喺度咁樣。咁但係我可以翻譯。
So and the relationship between her and her mother was different because for years, even during in her second film, that we could see that they don't really talk much between her and her mother. But this time, because of this film, that they have decided to take up the camera as a talkie-walkie and started this conversation. They started to have more communication, and she felt that her mother, for the first time, also during this process, started to feel the feeling of being a mother, really, and the existence of her as a daughter. Also, that kind of feeling developed during this filming.
對於我嚟講係一開始會做呢個 project 係因為我一直好想知我阿媽究竟真實嘅佢係一個點樣嘅人嚟嘅。咁就好似我中間咁，其實我係越拍越模糊嘅，即係因為人係好複雜嘛。當佢攤開之後，你會發現即係有啲更加唔知點算嘅感覺。但係當呢個 project 再完成咗之後，我就發現其實我哋係一啲都唔似咯，即係。我發現嗰條臍帶係真係斷開咗，而我可以做一個真正嘅自己咁樣。
So at the beginning, the intention of the documentary was her intention to know more about her mother. She always wanted to know what is the character of her mother. And then during the filming, she seems to feel even more confused. Because as she opens up and the communication process, she seemed to be feeling a little bit lost in between and not even very sure what she is really like. And then at the end, she would say just that she felt that she is really, really different from her mother. And it seems that this film is like the cutting of that tie that she has with her mother, that they are two individuals now.
即係如果我哋睇翻去你嘅英文片名咧，其實有少少好似你係會覺得即係個花會再即係盛放嘛。有少少其實就係你似乎心目中希望，又或者你覺得你阿媽其實仍然可以係盛放嘅，咁只不過係各樣嘅因素啦咁樣。咁所以其實對你嚟講，我今次睇嗰陣時有少少覺得你有啲好似好想你阿媽經歷過嘅嘢，包括咗拎住個攝影機去影，又包括咗去用佢嘅方法去表達自己。咁所以其實心底上邊其實你係希望透過攝影機或者透過套片係希望你媽媽係得到啲咩㗎
？So for Albert, he said that in the English title of the film is The Lily Yet to Bloom. And it seems that there is an expectation of her mother being more, to blossom more, to be more what she is supposed to be maybe. That's why it's almost like she would like her to experience what she experienced. For example, she was giving the camera to her mother to make the filming. So there was an intention for her to experience something that she experienced also. So how do you see that?
即係對於華人嘅社會嚟講，其實要表達自己係一個好大嘅問題嚟嘅。對於華人，即係我覺得係普遍家庭，尤其澳門，即係大家都唔會攤開嚟講嘅好多嘢，即係都會收埋喺心裏面嘅。咁即係我係做呢個 project， 其實唔係而家先開始做嘅，我係由我拍第一套作品，即係3年前，即係佢就已經喺度適應緊我呢個錄影機嘅。咁所以其實我係。即係我認為我媽媽其實好有 potential 嘅，即係因為我細個咧好多相啊，都係佢影，佢同埋我爺爺影嘅，好多，即係佢係好有佢嘅觸覺嘅。咁礙於佢嗰個年代唔可以咁樣去發揮自己或者去表達自己，所以我就會好想借呢個機會去令到佢。放開自己咁樣，去擁抱一個新嘅開始咁樣。
So effectively, she has always consider her mother full of potential, actually, because first of all, that camera thing is not foreign for her, because when she was young, her mother was taking a lot of photography of her, and she could feel that lots of photography, and she could feel that she was having her own sensitivity in capturing the moment. And then during these last 3 years, when she started to make documentaries with her family, her mother also started to be quite used to the presence of the camera. So this time would be the opportunity that she would like her mother to take up also that role behind the camera and then capture the things that she would feel worth capturing. And also because in Chinese families, it seems that there is always a difficulty to express their own feeling in front of the person. So it's very reserved. So through the camera, maybe it's a channel where she can release and express herself more freely. And during that, her background, during that, because she was also full of potential, as Lego was saying. But then during that time when her mother was younger, there wouldn't be much opportunity for her to develop something like she does now to be a documentary filmmaker, for example. It wasn't really possible.
因為我哋今日都想邀請埋佢阿媽，因為阿媽要返工。因為如果見過阿媽，你都知佢阿媽其實亦都好有佢嘅風格。咁啊，見到阿媽就等於好少見到阿 Lego 咁樣，咁所以希望有機會第日去親自同大家分享咁樣。
So actually, they wanted to invite also the mother to come to the screening today, but she has to work. So it's Eva said that it's very interesting also to see her mother and her. You know, they have the style that we can link really.
或者我再問多少少，因為其實我睇呢套戲其實除咗你阿媽，你其實有埋婆婆係咪啊？因為其實而家講緊好似3代嘅女性，當然因為係個篇幅嘅關係，其實各有唔同啦。咁其實你會睇到似乎係我哋，尤其是或者係我哋所謂華人嘅女性，好多時都係會受到個大環境影響咗佢嘅發展又好，成長又好，或者個潛力都好。喺你嘅戲裏邊有冇有時都想探討呢方面？又或者喺你嘅拍攝過程裏邊，你會體會到呢樣嘢？
So as we see in the film, it's not only the daughter and the mother, but also the grandmother. So it's like 3 generations of women. And is there any intention for the director to explore also that role of women in traditional also Chinese families where circumstances or the society is kind of limiting their potential? Maybe they couldn't have developed something they should have.
即係會放我媽媽同埋我外婆嗰一段，其實主要係想講佢對佢表達嘅愛就係孝順咯。即係我對於我媽媽表達嘅愛就係好似寫緊一封信俾佢，即係就係用我可以表達嘅方式話俾佢知咁樣。咁但係即係如果係女性，即係我俾部機，即係譬如我阿姨都有喺裡面拍嘅。即係對於佢哋嚟講，佢哋第一個諗法就係我有咩好拍啊？你點解要拍我啊？我有咩價值可以值得你去話俾人知咁樣，去分享咁樣咯。咁可能就要需要好長嘅時間去同佢哋去傾偈，同埋去建立嗰個自信心咯。其實。
So the reason that she filmed her grandmother was to reveal also the love that her mother has for her mother's mother, was to help her doing the washing the hair, cutting the hair, this affection that she would like to capture. But then as for the role of the women, especially Chinese women in the society, actually when she gave the camera for them, or when she turned the camera on her mother and her aunt, the first reaction was that they thought that, well, there's nothing special about me that you should be filming. You know, I'm no star, I'm nothing special. So it took some time for the director to talk to them and to make them realize that they should have the confidence that they have their own character and their own quality that she would like to capture.
琴日阿景就話最後嗰招就係話，因為我係學電影嘅，所以佢哋會唔會都係因為咁樣，最後都俾你拍啦咁樣？
應該話佢哋係望住我成長喺度做緊咩咯。因為如果我一直做緊嘅嘢，佢哋冇睇嘅話，會可能會有好多質疑嘅。但係因為佢哋一直都喺度，因為我由細到大其實都對即係影像啊好有興趣咁。跟住我屋企人其實支持嘅，我媽媽係好支持我做創作嘅，因為我心諗可能因為佢想做咯。所以佢可能就係好支持我做咁樣，即係我諗好多媽媽都係咁嘅。咁所以佢慢慢睇觀察我嘅作品之後，佢就可以理解咯。
So Oh yes, okay. I'm back. So it was a process of being with her as she grows up. Because since she was young, she was already very interested in images. And her mother has always been very supportive, even when she went to Taiwan to study and all this process, and now making documentary. Her mother has always been very supportive in terms of her pursuing of the images, and maybe she thinks that one of the possibilities is that she might have wanted to do it herself, but she didn't, so she has been supportive for her to do it.
可唔可以補充多少少？即係好似棉花，即係如果唔知有冇睇，即係我第二個作品咧，棉花咁。對於我阿姨嚟講咧，佢係完全對呢樣嘢好陌生嘅。我嗰時嘅做法咧就係我可能鏡頭唔會即刻直視佢咯，但係我可能會同佢一齊去經歷因為係講一個抑鬱症嘅故事，我就會同佢一齊去經歷一啲嘢，然之後進入去嘅，即係好似搭喺同一條船，跟住然之後我哋而家要向前行啦咁樣，即係有一種依靠嘅感覺，即係令到佢就開始即係就會信任我咯，即係跟住我就我哋要上岸啦，夠時間啦咁樣。
Because actually the question was about how she was able to convince them to be filmed in that way. And yesterday during the other section, we were talking about the director was saying that what I told them is for the homework or something that I want to record. And then, but for Lego, she said that, for example, in the second film that she made, it's about her aunt and her depression. So she had to take the time to be with her and try to use the camera as something in common that they can experience together, to open some kind of gate for them to explore together through this camera, and it becomes a project that they are both involved and not only as someone is being observed. So in this way, she was able to share this passion of hers and this project of hers with the people that are close to her.
或者我問多個問題，然後觀眾可以提問啦。咁啊，問下爸爸條線啊，父親啊，因為上次你唔喺度播嘅時候咧，其實你爸爸都有睇，同媽媽一齊嚟睇成套片，即係表示其實佢喺裏邊都要面對翻佢自己一啲嘅嘢啦咁樣。咁其實喺某方面，你爸爸都好支持你嘅喎。你可唔可以咁講
？So the question is about the father now, and the last time during the screening, the father came also with the mother also, so the parents were there. So he had also to sit down and to face himself too. So what is that process also about the change, maybe about the father's side?
可以咁講，因為我爸爸其實佢。即係我媽媽識佢嘅時候，佢係一個木雕師傅嚟嘅，雕屏風嘅工匠係，所以跟住同埋我爺爺又好中意畫畫， 所以即係我都喺度做緊我爸爸做唔到嘅嘢，即係只不過我爸爸去到即係後面其實就已經冇再接觸有關藝術嘅嘢啦，就係可能同賭場啊或者係其他工作咁樣咯。
So to say the background, her father was actually when her mother met her father, he was a wood sculptor. And so he was also working something related to art, but then it didn't develop further. And then he changed the job in the casino, more related to the casino and business. But then maybe it was something that he wanted to develop also, but he didn't get the chance to. So in this case, yes, he was also open to the project.
其實佢哋真係關心我賺唔賺到錢，我老豆嘅話，咁佢見到
似你嘅呢套片賺到錢啦。
唔係啊，佢見到呢套片睇得明，即係佢就會覺得都唔係咁冷門啊，你明唔明啊？即係以前嗰啲太冷門咧，佢會有啲擔心咯。
So the father appears to, the director is saying that my father must be, he cares more about if I can make money. So it seems that this film for him is not so not understandable. So maybe this one could work. So he was quite happy about it.
好，咁我哋或者俾觀眾可以問問題，或者俾啲感受。
Yeah. So if we have any sharing or comments or questions in the audience, you are welcome to raise your hand and.
Hello, good afternoon. I would like to ask the director if she had the ambition to have her movie shown in different parts of the world, and also a question to the table, how can we make the movies of Macau have more exposure outside?
咁個問題就係導演會唔會想話呢一條片都喺國際上唔同嘅地方、唔同嘅國家去放映啦，同埋我哋點樣去即係令到澳門嘅製作係可以更多曝光，即係喺國際嘅平台上面會更多曝光呢？
當然會希望可以即係越多地方睇到越想啦，因為其實我係想拍一個澳門嘅故事，我唔係單純拍我屋企嘛，即係我係想反映澳門社會普遍家庭發生嘅嘢。你可以答呢啲。
So certainly that the director said certainly she would like the film to be exposed further on a more international level, because what she did for her wasn't really only about her family. It was a Macau story, a Macau's family story. It's something that she finds representative and average. That is what she wanted to show. So yes, she would like this to reflect Macau.
咁同埋咧，我嘅作品咧一直以嚟都會同個大環境、當下大環境有關嘅，即係好似我第一部作品就係發生天鴿啦，跟住第二部作品就係港珠澳落成啦，港珠澳大橋落成。咁呢一部就係疫情，同埋其實仲有一 part 係我好想加入喺裡面嘅，但係即係大家都會明白有好多，因為呢個係資助計劃，所以有好多不可對抗嘅因素，所以我會好想再去做一個更完整嘅版本，即係可能係呢一年真係當下，即係可能同抗爭有關嘅都會放翻喺裡面嘅。
So, and there is also the intention from the director. Every work that she made, it has somehow related also, it's very important, the context, the social context of the moment when she made the documentary. For example, the first one, it was during the time of Hato in Macau. And then the second one, it was the opening of the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. And the third one, it was the pandemic this year as the social background. And for her, the third one, she would have made it into something deeper also, to represent also what has been happening from last year to this year. But since it's a project sponsored by official, by the government department, so she is, of course, having a lot of consideration of how far she can take this social context to be put into her film, something related to the 抗爭點樣譯好啊？ The social unrest that we are experiencing now, not only in Macau, but not particularly in Macau, I mean, but also in the neighboring regions, these particular regions of the world.
咁我好奇問下，咁而家你新嘅作品嘅大環境係啲咩嘢？
So what is the social context that she thinks that of her new work?
佢係真係拍緊部新嘅。
She's making a new film now. So he's asking, so what is that context that you're working on now?
咁我新嗰部作品咧係嘗試拍人哋屋企嘅，即係一直我都係拍自己屋企嘛。咁新嗰個作品我就會嘗試去拍人哋屋企，對我嚟講已經係一個勁大嘅挑戰，因為對於我嚟講，我係即係可能我要處理自己好多，我先至有一個責任去進入另外一個人嘅生命咯。對於我嚟講，即係如果我處理唔好自己，我會唔夠膽去開始咁樣。
So she's working on a new work, and the new work is to film another family. So she did 3 works on her own family. And then now is the first step for her to go outside, and it's a big challenge for her because she has to prepare herself very well, because she thinks that I have to be well prepared so that I will be responsible when I enter into the life of another. So this is something that she's working on now.
其他觀眾有冇一啲問題咧？
我想問下第一個問題咧，就係你啱啱咪話都係想用鏡頭去即係睇下你媽咪真實個面係點嘅。咁我自己都會喺度諗，其實好多紀錄片都會有一個思考咧，就係你鏡頭背後嗰個人一定係經過鏡頭面前，你都係有一定嘅修飾，即係你可能唔會將最肉酸或者最難堪個面去顯現出嚟。咁嗰陣時其實你會唔會有呢個咁嘅爭持㗎？就係呢一 part 嗰度。
So the question is about behind someone when someone is being filmed, they might not reveal naturally what they are. They might there might be some kind of not decoration, but some kind of subconscious, like pretending because you are in front of a camera. So what would be the consideration for the director when she is pointing the camera onto the people close to her?
我換另一個種講法啦，即係其實即係對我嚟講，醜或者修飾或者控制，即係其實呢個過程裡面都發生咗好多事件嘅。即係譬如我同我媽媽即係佢都會，因為我係要直視問題，所以佢有情緒好崩潰嘅時候，咁佢都有即係嗰陣佢係自己攞住部機器喺自己房間度同佢對話嘅，但係我係唔夠膽睇嗰段片嘅，因為太重啦，同埋呢個係佢好私人嘅嘢，咁同埋加上。我係認為，即係觀眾唔需要去承受呢一啲情緒，即係喺呢一套片裏面，我係花咗好大嘅力氣去平衡所有嘅嘢，即係譬如平衡我爸爸會唔會介意啊，我媽媽佢嘅傷害點樣可以減到最低，但係可以令到觀眾去理解佢，而我又係一個點樣嘅角色去出現呢？咁樣呢個係我即係。用腦去思考最多嘅一套，因為太多道德即係倫理嘅問題啦，對我嚟講。
So effectively, when the director is using this camera, pointing the camera onto the family members that she is filming, there is a point. How much should she show them? Are they ugly in front of the camera, or are they beautiful? You know, that kind of question. And there was a point when her mother was doing a monologue on the camera, expressing her very strong emotions, and that part she herself wasn't even able to watch because she thinks that this is something very private of her mother. She might not have the right to watch it herself. And to show it, not to mention, to show it. So she used a lot of effort. She has been thinking a lot and reflecting a lot and considering a lot up to what point I should be able to, or I should show the degrees of the thing, and to find the balance. For example, if her father would find it disturbing, to show certain things of her father, and then the mother, and then herself, and then all this family situation. And of course, she herself, as the first person, she would also mind a lot how we would receive the images. And this is a lot about ethical decisions, actually, because it's her parents, it's a human relationship, it's about privacy, it's about emotions, so there's a lot of consideration in it. I'm sorry, we have time out now, so we will be rounding up the section. But you are welcome to stay behind. We can still talk with the director outside because we have a next section very soon. Well, actually, we have some time. Let's have a last question.
I just wanted to thank you and applaud you for making such a beautiful, powerful film. I really enjoyed it. It was gripping every moment. Yes, the social context is there, Macau is there, but you have deep insight into human situation and personality that's truly universal. Don't just leave it at Macau. It is really universal human interest here. Congratulations.
咁呢位觀眾咧就好讚賞導演啦，佢話好恭喜佢做咗一件非常深刻嘅作品啊！呢件作品唔止淨係表現到一個人性，你自己個人嘅感情喺裏面，亦都去反映到一個社會嘅背景啦，人與人之間嘅關係啦，情感上面嘅表達啦。咁佢係話好希望呢一類嘅作品，你嘅作品能夠唔好淨係喺呢一度播映啊，應該要俾多啲人見到。咁
我或者問埋最後一個問題咧，因為都要抽離翻少少，因為你都作為一個係電影工作者，亦都係受過專業訓練嘅。咁而你而家就係處理緊呢個 personal 嘅嘢。頭先你已經講咗一啲，其實你會點樣做？不過其實裏邊牽涉到你有大量嘅素材噶嘛。咁喺你呢個剪片過程，你有時有幾藝術家 feel 噶嘛？我哋認識你。咁其實你嘅創作掙扎其實係點樣嘅
？So Albert would like a last question. I promise that in treating the tons of images that you have collected, filmed all throughout the years, how do you consider and how do you treat your own creative process among this sea of images that you have collected and made?
通常咧。咁你同自己相處咗咁耐，你會知㗎嘛？咁通常我會需要可能一半嘅時間消化咗呢件事，就係可能係應該係咁講。我一開始咧會寫好多個劇本，我會寫好多個事件，即係我嘅劇本裏面有非常多嘅事件啦，即係我可以咁做咁做咁。到我真係拍嘅時候咧，我會掉低晒，但係你會印象之中會有啲遊戲係可以同你嘅對象去玩嘅，即係呢一啲事件你係可以選擇同對象去玩。咁然之後咧，但係要俾對象去帶住你走，咁我就去跟住佢哋。咁然之後到翻嚟嘅時候，我又會寫好多個剪接劇本。咁我就會不斷去排序啦，即係我嘅邏輯係點樣排啊？點樣排？即係可能我係用一個情緒去剪啦，定係我用一個事件去剪啦？咁其實我阿媽嗰一 part 咧，佢拍咗2 T 俾我，即係一個好龐大嘅數據。你可以翻轉。
So the director is sharing the way that she works.
寫劇本。
So she starts with writing a lot of scripts. Before the project, she writes different kinds of scripts. Could be this, could be that, different stories. What could be the point of entry for her to start the project? And she made different scenes and stuff. And then when she's filming, she forget about the script. But then the script was already in her mind, and she has some kind of like little games that can help her to get into the relationship with the person, and then to let that person, that game is just an introduction for the person to guide her into the events that would unfold themselves. And then after the filming, she said that her mother had actually filmed 2 TB of rushes for her to edit. So for the editing also, she writes different possibility of editing scripts. And then she make all these different kinds of consideration. Should it be edited according to an emotion? Would it be an emotional choices? Or would it be a chronological choices? So all different kinds of possibilities, she would first write them down.
但係開始之前，我可能有半年嘅時間乜都唔做去消化呢件事。
But at the same time, before she starts the process, she needs at least maybe half of a year of doing nothing but feeling the thing, settling it, and meditating on it practically.
所以要話俾爸爸知，原來有好多事係冇公開。
So it's like she is unemployed at least half of the year. Okay, so thank you for coming. We are really time out now. We have to give the stage to the next section for them to prepare. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Lego. 多謝各位來臨。我哋可以休息一下，跟住之後有一場係5點鐘，佢哋同事係需要。